Hi, it's me again, and on my scout around the internet most mornings I stumble across the odd TV license story which I like to bring you, but I don't often go to the highbrow papers because you may not have noticed this, but I'm not a very highbrow kind of person. But I found one in the Telegraph and it's got a cracking headline. Have a look at this. The BBC has abandoned intelligent culture for cheap trash. Oh, that sounds like it's going to be good already, doesn't it? Let's have a look at it and we'll have a chat about it as always, shall we? It is often remarked that golden ages are illusory. Oh yeah, there's big posh words in this already, isn't there? The very idea of them tainted and distorted by nostalgia and other forms of excessive emotionalism about the past. I should put a posh voice on, really, shouldn't I? But anyone who can recall watching BBC television in the period from the mid-60s to the early 80s will recall that that was indeed a golden age. The age of, but to name but a few, the Forsyth Saga, heard of that? Civilization, The Ascent of Man, Monitor, Late Night Lineup, Omnibus, Dad's Army, I bloody love Dad's Army, Monty Python, I can never get into that, Fawlty Towers, cracking, The Pallisers, The Wednesday Play, is that what I think it would be, a play on a Wednesday? That's quite classy for the BBC if that was true. The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, which was good, I liked that. I used to watch that with my dad. And Only Fools and Horses, the greatest sitcom ever made. However, not everyone in the world of television seems to look back on that era with excellence and admiration. Everyone who pays for a television licence has a right to expect the corporation to provide a certain amount of programming that is designed to appeal to them. Well, they have just dropped BBC 4. They're going to keep it as a channel, but they're not going to make any new shows for it. They're just not. They're saying that it's just going to be a repeats channel. Much like BBC One is just a repeats channel. But they've openly said they're not going to make anything new for the over 40s. So if you're over 40 and you're paying your television licence, BBC don't care about you. They just want your money. Even BBC 4, which is supposed to be the upmarket channel now, shows mainly repeats. I should read these articles before I bring them to you. But I like to react in the way you would react when you first hear them. So I never read them. I only read the headline and the first bit. Sorry. Now mainly shows repeats, and mostly not very good ones, since its redesignation as an archive channel. If the BBC is determined to make its arts and culture programming almost all about what it has made in the past, then what does that say about the projection and development of our culture at present and in the future? Well, it says a lot about the BBC's culture at present and in the future, is that they don't have any. They've got no imagination and they're not planning on spending your money that you pay for your TV licence fees on programming. They're busy opening new offices and production suites to work with Netflix and things, you know, and they're busy taking pay rises and spending it all on booze at staff parties and things. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They just want your money. Back in the golden age, faithful and intelligent adaptations of classic novels, whether Galsworthy, Trollope, Dickens or George Eliot, encourage those who have not heard of them to go and read them. Cool, this is much more highbrow than normal, this article. It mentions books. You never get a mention of a book in The Sun. Documentaries drove people into art galleries and museums, or stimulated them to read books on history or science to expand their knowledge. In my lowbrow experience, that is true. Well, I grew up, you know, in the 90s watching Discovery Channel when they made real documentaries about real stuff and science and space and stuff, and I read loads of books because of it. I did genuinely. I have read books, I promise you. I even own books myself. I have read some, and because of the things I saw on the documentaries, I want to learn some more about that. But there's only one documentary. I'm going to go get me a book, and I had a library card and everything. I'd go to the library, I'd get books. But you look at Discovery Channel now, it's all reality shows, and that has started to funnel down onto like the proper channels. Well, proper channels I call BBC, ITV, Channel 4 are the proper channels, aren't they? They're the old school, proper, granddaddy channels. When was the last time you saw a really good documentary on one of them channels that wasn't some weird reality thing? It doesn't happen often, does it? I miss the old days of documentaries. I don't know, I start sounding old, but I am over 40. But yeah, I think he makes a fair point there. It's debatable, highly debatable, that the general public are anything like as bovine as some BBC executives seem to think they are. The BBC also has a choice between leaving people to wallow in a warm bath of ignorance or encouraging them to take a more aspirational view of culture, making elitism for everybody. God, this is highbrow, isn't it? I shouldn't be reading this. Am I allowed to read The Guardian? That always used to be the great mission of the BBC, the old third programme, in an age where very few people had the chance to go to university, acted very much as a university of the air. Well, I'm not going to read all the article to you for a couple of reasons. One, I can't understand every word that he uses without Googling it. And two, it's not the most exciting article, but if you want to read the whole thing, I will put a link. I always put a link to these articles below, so you can go and take a look in the source, hit the description thing, and you'll see it. But he does end his article with a good question. Do you agree that the BBC has abandoned intelligent culture for cheap trash? Yeah, I do. I do. It's going down the route that ITV's gone down. The race to the bottom, the lowest common denominator, cheapest television possible. Stack it up, sell it cheap kind of television, isn't it? Because the problem is there's so many channels and so many streaming services now, and only so many places making good shows or have ideas for good shows. And if they go and buy them, what's the BBC left with? So they have to go in the race to the bottom, don't they? The cheap trash reality shows where they can just knock them out and fill the airwaves up with stuff that isn't repeats for once on the cheap. That's what they're doing. So what do you think about all this? Do you think they're in a race to the bottom like I think, or do you think the BBC are doing a good job? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have a chat about it as always, and I'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks for watching.